In this video, I will try different Apple CarPlays from Amazon ranging from the cheapest to the most expensive.
Wait, so how much is that gonna cost?
Starting at $150, this is the cheapest option they have. Here is the $250 one, which makes it the medium option. And this one is the big bad boy for over $400, making it the most expensive Apple CarPlay on the market. The only criteria they all had to have is wireless CarPlay. So first, let's start with the cheapest one. Now, being that it is the cheapest option at $150, this was right around my expectations. A plain white box, no flare, and the actual tablet itself. And I say tablet because this thing really felt like a cheap Android tablet. It had touch capacitive buttons and it just felt like I was unboxing a tablet from 2012. The one thing surprisingly expensive was the suction cup sticky mount, but that's pretty much it. Let's move on to the next one. So now let's unbox the $250 one. Right out the box, the $250 one was slightly disappointing because of how the package was ripped. However, if it works, it works. I'm not knocking on it too much. There was a lot more unnecessary components in the $250 one, I guess just to make it feel bulkier. But the plus side is that the screen did not feel cheap and it actually felt like a monitor rather than an Android tablet. However, for around $250, the quality was definitely better as expected. And last but not least, let's unbox the $400 one. I paid $400 for this. I was expecting it to be the Rolls Royce of Apple CarPlay, and I have to say it was decent. The packaging, the presentation, and the 7-inch IPS touchscreen it had was definitely much better. Still, the only gripe I had at a $400 price point, the screen was extremely thick and the suction mount was the absolute cheapest non-sticky suction mount out of all three devices. It'll be hilarious if this is actually going to be the worst one. Alright, I've unboxed all three of them. Now let's take it to the car and see which one actually is the best for the value. Alrighty, $150. I'm definitely rooting for you. When you suction this puppy down, it's not going anywhere. I guarantee it. Now, every Apple CarPlay has two connectors that you have to connect. The auxiliary cable and the power cable. Now, obviously speaking, this is all plug and play. You just plug it into a cigarette lighter port and it should turn on. Now, when powered on, this $150 tablet does look like an Android tablet. I just cannot get over that. But then again, if it works, it works. We're gonna pair it, use Apple CarPlay, connect to your phone, and boom. I'll tell you right now, when I turned it on, it definitely shocked me and I was surprised that it even worked. The biggest downside of this device is definitely going to be the processor. As you can see, it's slightly laggy, not too bad. In terms of phone and messaging, everything was there, everything worked. I was able to use Siri to actually talk to the device, send messages, ask questions, and do everything like so. So far, it's looking pretty promising. I'm gonna go to the maps real quick, and I'm gonna use Google Maps. And once again, you got that laggy feel to it. However, it's not bad at all, especially if your car is going from not having CarPlay to actually having CarPlay. The next test I'm going to simulate is how long it actually takes to turn on when I turn on my vehicle. So as you can see, I unplugged it and plugged it back in to simulate my car turning on and off. And I'll tell you right now, it took a whopping 30 seconds to connect. Not only that, I had to actually click on CarPlay and it still took some time finally connecting and starting the Apple CarPlay application. 30 seconds might not be a lot of time. You guys make your choice. Overall speaking, for $150, I'll give this Apple CarPlay a 6.5 out of 10. It will definitely do the job if you're new to Apple CarPlay. Okay, now we're gonna do the 2022 $250 version. This is new on the market, came out just a few months ago. I saw it and I had to test it out. As you can see, I've already plugged in the auxiliary cable and also the power cable, just like the other one. And there we have it. I can definitely tell this is a much better display. Now, one thing awesome about this one does come with wireless mirroring, where it just mirrors whatever is on your screen onto the display. So that is definitely a plus. However, I'm not here for that. I'm here for CarPlay. When this bad boy turned on the Apple CarPlay, the camera does not do justice as the quality of this. It just felt like true Apple CarPlay. The lagginess is there, however, it is noticeably less. Everything just feels better, smoothness wise. You can tell the processor is handling everything better. Siri, everything is there. Sending messages, receiving messages. I don't know, this is looking pretty good. This is looking actually pretty good. Google Maps is working perfectly on here. You can use Apple Maps, obviously. I just choose to use Google Maps. And my music player, what I use, Pandora, is just a little bit snappier and works much better, and it plays music obviously through the car speakers with no static or anything like that. So let's do the turn it off and turn it on method, and for $250 this one took 20 seconds to automatically turn on, and go to the Apple CarPlay screen. That's not too bad. I mean, you know, imagine getting in your vehicle, turning it on, putting your seatbelt on. Probably take you about 20 seconds or so by the time your Apple CarPlay turns on. Not horrible, not the best, but still wireless. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to touch any screen or anything like that. For $250, this one definitely gets a solid 8.9 out of 10. And now, finally, the last, but definitely not least, the $450 bad boy. I'm expecting this thing to be like the creme de la creme. iPad status, wireless Apple CarPlay. Let's get it. I've plugged in the actual auxiliary cable and also the power cable. Immediately, I can tell the resolution is, oh my goodness, so much better. We care about connecting it to Apple CarPlay and seeing if this thing is truly worth 400 big bad boys. And when Apple CarPlay turned on, automatically, this thing looked amazing. Now, I will say that for $400, I expected it to be not laggy at all, but then again, I'm not complaining. It's still the best looking out of all three, and the lagginess is at a minimum. It does look worse on camera than it actually is in real life. Messages pop up quickly, phone just pops up quickly. It's just snappier. You can tell after trying all three of them back to back to back. This one has the processing power. This one is definitely much better. Everything works on it as expected. Siri, sending messages, reading messages, Google Maps, and also Pandora. Definitely snappier than the other ones. The quality of the music through the speakers is just perfect. Last but not least, we're going to do the unplug and plug in test. So I'm going to be plugging it in right here. And this one took 17 seconds to go from powered on, when you power on your vehicle, all the way to the actual Apple CarPlay applet. You don't have to click on anything or anything like that. You don't have to plug your phone in or anything like that. These are all wireless. However, was it worth 400 big ones? Let's recap. The screen is absolutely amazing. The time from when you turn on your vehicle to actually getting to CarPlay was much better. Everything is just a little bit more snappier. Overall, for the price what you're paying for this versus the quality, I'm gonna have to give it a 8.5 out of 10, which is lower than the 8.9 I gave to the second one at $250, just because I feel like the $250 one has a better value for how much you're paying for it. Definitely do not go for the cheapest one unless it's your first time using Apple CarPlay, but the $250 one is my choice at the moment and my recommendation in terms of value. Now, obviously, if you have $400 and you want the best, you want the creme de la creme, regardless of the price, you go for the big bad boy and you will love it. Look at the other reviews on Amazon and get yourself Apple CarPlay. Links are going to be in the description section of the video. You guys already know it, but that's pretty much for this video. Catch you in the next video. Keith just here saying thanks for watching and peace.